The lights turn upon me. Now. Lights on me. Suddenly, when I enter, and the lights come up, I know this is what it is. The tongue is the tongue, the speech is the speech. I speak into the space, and it is what it is. In the beginning, there was the door. In the beginning, there was the door and the fan. Everything else rests soundlessly under an ancient hush. And then, the sofa. This chest of drawers, plates, and then me. Everything gathers onto a heap and I'm there on top, and then what? The ticking of a clock. The ticking of a clock on a hot, humid day, and that says it all. The door, the fan, the chest of drawers, the plates, I on top of a heap that sits at the foot of the clock on a hot, humid day. Lights on me. And it is possible, as a rule, to predict where this began. What came first, like in Genesis. Soon, as I open this door in front of me, whatever happens will happen naturally. Soon, as I open this door in front of me, one thing or another will gather onto the heap and add another little heap on top. The doorbell is ringing. Coming!
Cordelia.
Eric.
I just wanted to say hi.
You wanted to say hi. How nice of you.
Nice of you to open the door.
It's the least I can do.
You haven't changed.
You haven't changed either.
So,
we will now walk round and watch each other walking. Eric comes in. He sits down in the living room. He swings his leg as I swing the frying pan. For now, in this little world, we have doubled. One became two. Eric is there, and I am here. Maybe now that Eric is clear, it's time to ask the question, who is Eric? Eric?
yes?
Do you like garlic?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes?
You like pepper?
No.
So that's Eric. With garlic, no pepper.
So?
The frying pan. So?
The sofa.
What was once just a bunch of celery leaves, pumpkin and some water is becoming increasingly orange.
Shortly we will be both in the same room. It's unavoidable.
I'm still swinging.
I'm still swinging.
Eric,
Yes?
there's something I need to tell you, but I don't know how.
Well, there's something I wanted to tell you too, but I don't know how.
Oh, I'm Schmidt. I'm the narrator of this story. As Delia and Eric got stuck and can't talk anymore, I show up and give a different perspective. Eric and Adelia, what a story. Oh, I should add, way in the back, an elderly woman's watering a plant.
It's nice to see you from time to time. You notice how much you haven't changed.
Yes, that in itself is a nice thing.
No doubt what's happening between us is causing frustration.
No doubt. But what can you do?
I think we need to end this. Well, maybe tomorrow.
Eric shuts the door.
So I'm shutting the door.
I stay for now in the dark.
And for now, stay outside the door.
I stay in the dark.
Until I open the door again.
But I think to myself.
But I'm still thinking,
Eric.
Delia.
Eric.
Delia.
and so on till tomorrow. I didn't develop the Arik that is inside him as I had expected. I couldn't grow a new Arik. Today's Arik has withered away. Tomorrow, a new one will start growing.
Now immediately turn to the hall, get in the lift, there it is, the lift, and inside it, something new.
Lights on me? I just missed someone disappearing into the lift. What a shame! What a shame! I could have enjoyed them whole, like a pair. Instead, they disappeared into the lift. In half an hour, in all probability, someone else will go up or down in the lift. Until then, I will open the door to the flat and close it again from the inside.
I go up in the lift and then this guy shows up.
I go up into the lift, and in the lift, this woman shows up.
We could shake hands. Why not?
Well, we could shake hands, why not?
But we won't shake hands.
No, we won't shake hands. We'll just stare at the floor, embarrassed, and smile.
We won't brush against each other by mistake either. We could have brushed against each other totally by mistake. If we each moved to the other side of the lift, you could have moved to this side and I would have moved to that side.
Let's try. It didn't work out because the lift was too wide. Even if we circled each other all day, for 5 minutes or something like that, nothing would have happened.
Shame.
So that's it. I get it. What didn't happen with Odelia won't happen with this girl, whose name I don't know.
Lucy.
Lucy!
Lucy.
Arik. Pleasure.
Why don't you say something? A little something. What do you think? Do you think you could say something just to break the silence?
Why are you doing it?
Technically speaking, it's your job. You're a man, and I'm wearing a hat.
I can't. But I also don't want to, because I'm thinking of someone else.
Wrong. You're thinking of me.
I'm not thinking of you, not at all. I'm thinking of someone else. Odelia. There. Odelia.
Well, in that case, keep thinking. The lift is about to stop. If you don't say something soon,
Your hat.
what about it?
It's wide.
Thank you. That's flattering.
So I lock the door, turn the key and go in. Nothing is waiting for me inside. No one but my grandmother Rivka, who is either watering the plant or watching the fish.
I'm watering the plant. Earlier, I was watching the fish.
Grandma, you water the plant too much.
No, not too much. Don't say too much. If I stop watering this plant, I'll die.
Then find something else to do, like, watch the fish.
Tell me something. Tell me something I don't know. Tell me something. The leaves grow and fall. The trees shiver in the wind. Children fall off their bikes. Tell me something to remind me how things happen.
Everything keeps moving, Grandma, as they say. Everything keeps spinning and carries on, as they say. Thousands of girls wave their skirts in the rhythm, passed around from arm to arm, and then collapse, breathless. Only your grandson Arik stands still, stuck, not moving. The world changes colours, Grandma. Once a day at least. One happy woman replaces another. We are the ones who are left out, holding hands, staring at the fish tank.
hard to hear what I heard. So I say, I didn't hear it.
It's hard for me to say what I've said. So I say I didn't say it.
I stand by the door and touch my hair. Behind this wall awaits George. Who is George? I've forgotten already. Every time I open this door, the world fills with George again. And the moment I shut it, he's vacuumed up like dust into a little container the size of my lipstick. George!
That's me.
There. How easy. I think I'm falling for you all over again. Apparently. And it makes things easier.
I hear your voice in the hall and realise how I've missed you.
Really? That's good to hear. How was your day? I always start with these types of questions.
All right. I always give this sort of answer.
Should we hug?
Yes, we could hug.
From our attitude, it's obvious that things are not all that great between us.
That's right.
Luckily, there is a door to enter through, and by the same way, leave.
You're right. It's good to have a door. Otherwise, we would have to live with each other, or without each other, forever.
Sitting in front of the telly. No need to talk, just breathe.
My hand is getting warm from the touch of her shoulder. So her shoulder is getting warm from the touch of my hand. The heat creeps from one side to the other without losing a drop. We sit on the sofa keeping this low flame.
What's been happening so far? Well, to keep tabs. Upstairs, disappearing in the lift, there's Aaron. Downstairs on the right, Fidelia. Across the hall to the left, there's a guy whose name we haven't called. Because no one's addressed him yet. But I can tell you, it's no big deal because I know him and I know what happens to him later on. His name is Sigur. It's a difficult name to pronounce. And beside him, there's George and Lucy, who we just heard from. Third floor, on the right. In a moment, a new character is about to appear who will change the current state of affairs.
Who is it?
It's me, Renat.
Oh, that's my friend Renat. Come in.
I just wanted to sit with you for a bit because I've got nothing to do.
You can sit with us, but you can't sit between us.
What are you up to?
We're exchanging heat. At least that's what it looks like from the side.
It really does seem that way. I could also exchange heat. My battery is full of heat. I can only imagine what goes on between you two.
Oh, Renat. Poor little Renat. Poor you.
Poor me indeed. I'm not just saying it.
Come and sit between us and see how it makes you feel.
Really?
So, what do you reckon?
It's making me warm. How strange it is to get warm.
It's making me warm too.
You too?
It's surprising, isn't it?
Yes. Surprising. And exciting. The way the warmth moved between us. Yes, what seems quite complex from the outside is actually quite basic from the inside.
It should work for everyone.
Yes, and the main thing is it works for me.
And I came in from one side, and I leave out the other. It happens, just like that. So easily. No questions asked. This new situation makes me think about the world a little. But only for a moment. Anyway, now things start to get complicated as I get my jacket to leave.
What are you doing?
I'm going for a walk. Past the hall, then the stairs. I might look out the window.
The wheel is turning.
Where you end, someone else begins. You know that.
Sounds reasonable. But behind all the reason, there is still a person.
I was only trying to make a point. But it doesn't matter, because I'm not sure what it was.
Maybe you're trying to say that you could do better than me.
Yes, that's what I meant.
I just want to ask quickly, for my own personal interest. Would you even notice that I'm gone?
If you really want to know. I will notice you're gone. It'll happen after I realise that this new one is also nothing new. But it'll take time.
Thanks.
See you.
You're not going to watch me leave?
I do, but out the corner of my eye. You can hear footsteps. That's not new. That's how you know a part of the house structure's changing. Like a giant Rubik's Cube in motion. Brunette holds on to George. So Lucy leaves the room. As soon as she moves, unexpected shifts happen somewhere else in the house.
I'm yawning.
Putting my hand under the running tap. Cold.
Sticking my head out of the window to get some air.
Lights on me. Now, it's evening. I walk by one of the windows and then stop to have a look. I'm a little sad. I still can't get over what happened earlier from where I came from. But, as I walk and reflect, a pleasing fact suddenly occurs to me. When my story ends, it begins somewhere else.
Seems like you're also looking out of the window. That window there was always empty when I stood here. Now at last our windows meet.
You probably mean it's fate.
No! I mean that it was highly improbable for two people to walk past two facing windows, one in front of the other at the same time.
And yet we are standing in front of two such windows. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, it's possible. If you count the number of windows, and out of that the number of windows directly facing each other, then consider the number of people walking around at night. If you add up the nights and calculate the probability, you end up with, realising that this meeting between us was unavoidable.
This theory you present is a bit too cold. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Right from the start.
Well, what would you change?
I would rather view our meeting in a less mathematical way. At least to begin with. Later on it can be more flexible.
No, that's just the way I explain things. Mainly to myself, because I fear things that don't have numerical value. But that's only my exterior. Inside, I have a soul too, don't worry about it.
You might be right. But something about this meeting feels wrong. You are definitely not George. You are someone else. I can already tell there'll be bumps along the way.
Lucy has left, and Renat came in her place. For now, everything is back to normal. We hold hands. We're happy.
We're content. And we hold hands.
What's happening to certain people by a window is happening to us now on the sofa.
You could use all sorts of metaphors to describe our meeting, but there's no need. We're sitting on the sofa, holding hands. That says it all.
I pass by the loo and I see Eric looking out of the window.
I stare at someone staring at me. That's the fundamental situation in nature.
Allow me to stare at you as you are staring at her, staring at you.
There's nothing in it for you.
Oh, that's all right. I can imagine what it's like. If it's no trouble, I'll stand here, watch quietly, and reminisce. I once had a window, too. His name was Eli.
It is already evening and he hasn't come. Conclusion, he is not coming. Either way, in order to move forward, it needs to be clear. You can't just love. You need to do it against something. You need resistance for love. Otherwise it just goes down the drain like washing up water. I have decided to leave the flat, to look in the dark for someone to love against. My biggest advantage is that I've already done my hair. Here's a bench, and whoever happens to open a window can watch me, flicking my hair from side to side. I wait. I'm still waiting. I do not intend to wait much longer.
I can see you're waiting, and I intend to propose myself.
You?
Seagull. Just as you're sitting down here, I felt like opening a window and chatting to someone. Isn't that funny?
Oh, cool, you are exactly what I've been looking for. Listen carefully to what I'm about to say. Don't panic. I'm sorry, but I'm already taken.
That's a shame. I was hoping for something else.
No, don't worry, it's just my tactic.
Oh, got it!
What's your tactic?
I don't have one. I'll do whatever you say. You're a woman, it's obvious. And the thing that stands out about you more than anything else is your hair.
The problem is, I'm not attracted to available people. It's unattractive, you get it?
Do you think there's anything we could do?
No. I would like to, but no, it's a matter of principle. Unless you can think of some brilliant solution.
Here's a solution. You can be with me because I'm already with you. Look, it's such perfect timing you won't even notice. I'll be with you just as you are already with me.
That's creative. That way I don't feel bad about the whole situation. I agree, in principle, but I'm letting you know that I'm only with you so that I can think of someone else. His name is Eric.
I understand the situation, and there's room for disappointment, but the bottom line is that physical presence is what counts. And after all, you will be with me in body, and everything else is irrelevant.
We're done organising.
We're also done organising.
We are as we were before.
Stretching back on the sofa in the living room, we're content.
Sitting on the edge of the bed, we're also content.
Staring at each other through the window, and we're also content.
Stretching back.
Sitting.
Staring.
Wait! We have to stop here to say Adelia is hooked on Seagull. That's how one turn of the clock has completed and stopped again on 12. But the hour hand that paused for a moment shows only a moment, a flash image. A time for the whole building to take a quiet breath, each to their own. A sweet silence under the duvets. Here and there there's a sigh. Listen carefully. It's the building. The light is out. But only briefly. This moment glides as vulnerable as a bubble. At 5 in the morning already, the light comes up in one of the rooms.